हम गरीबों के हाँ मेहरबां आ गया फिर खिलाफत के ताबे जहां आ गया
Director is when he's in Germany, and especially during Jalsa Salana, like in every Jalsa, I think he's busy from morning till evening.
No, people who are watching the Jalsa will know anyway that, for example, today on Saturday is the second day of the Jalsa Germany, and Hazur's just gone to the ladies session a few minutes ago, where he's going to be addressing the Lajna members very, very shortly. Then after that, Hazur will return to the men's marquee, and he will lead the Zohar and Asr prayers. Hazur will then probably return to his residence for a short period to have some lunch. But very, very soon after that, Hazur will be returning again to the main Jalsa marquee to deliver a special speech to guests of the Jalsa Salana in English. So just the formal proceedings are very, very busy on each day of Jalsa, but that's truly just the tip of the iceberg.
Thanks God sometimes, I mean, we can bring Hazur back to his residence, and then we are most happy that Hazur has some time for himself. But what does it mean for himself? He is delivering daily speeches, yeah? And he is writing all his speeches by himself. So it means when we are sending him in his residence, when we are taking him over there, then he will start over there working.
सैयदी तुझसे वादे निभाएंगे हम हर कदम अपना आगे बढ़ाएंगे हम
Hazur just doesn't waste a second. Even just a couple of days ago, I was speaking to Hazur about his address today, which he's going to deliver to German guests. And Hazur was telling me that on the way from Calais to Frankfurt, Hazur said that I spent 2.5, 3 hours working on my notes at that time. And I mean, I know myself, if I'm in the car, if I start reading for 2 or 3 minutes, I start getting dizzy or I start getting a headache. Yet Hazur doesn't waste that time. And it's, throughout Jalsa, it's the same, that where other people might find a few minutes to rest or relax, our Khalifa is either working for the sake of the Jamaat or he's bowing down in front of Allah Ta'ala, praying for his beloved Jamaat.
I think nobody could stand what he is taking care for, and it is unbelievable. I mean, especially people who are busy know that you need sometimes rest. But it looks that God is so close to our directors that he has created, or he has arranged things for him that he don't need to take rest. That he is continuously busy and in a way that he is providing happiness to others.
The rest of the Jamaat across the world is still continuing. They are still having their activities, they're still having their issues. They're writing to Hazur, they're sending messages to his office. So every day Hazur's checking the messages, checking the mail of the different departments and responding to them. And I mean, just a day ago I sent in a request regarding something just completely normal, nothing urgent at all, but relating to my office. And by the next morning, I had a full answer from Hazur written in his hand, and that was just one letter, and that's from one department in one country. So the more you hear how Hazur conducts his duties, it's just astonishing. And what people see at Jalsa Salana, the public face when they see it on TMTA, is just a very, very small, very, very important, of course, but a very, very small overall scope of Hazur's duties.
हर कदम अपना आगे बढ़ाएंगे हम हर कदम अपना आगे बढ़ाएंगे हम
At the moment, the law minister of Germany is on site, and she's also on the Lajna side, so I'm sure Hazur will be meeting her as well.
That's recently a situation where the Minister of Law came the first time, I mean, to our Jalsa Salana, a federal minister came. She came and she was late. Yeah? So we had difficulties to find a slot. So we were puzzled what to do, yeah? Because Hazur is starting at 12. She was supposed to come at 11. She came 11:35. Yeah? So what to do? So then we had not asked permission from Hazur, I mean, that she can address the ladies' side. So then I sent her to the lady side because man's side was going too close, yeah, and a man was speaking over there. Then, of course, Lajna was carefully, they said, we cannot let her speak without permission of Hazur. So I went then puzzled, to Hazur's resident, waited till he came out. When he came out, I explained the situation. He looked at me, he smiled and said, "Don't worry, I will handle her." And he gave me so much comfort that I was, happy.
ख्यालों में बैठा मेरे पास है दिल ज़ुमर्द है याकूत अल्मास है.
I remember when Hazur was in Canada, he had a couple of years ago, he spent the whole day in Parliament meeting dignitaries, meeting the Prime Minister, giving address. At one point, one of the parliamentarians said, "Your Holiness, I'm very sorry we've made the day so long for you that you are spending so many hours in meetings." Hazur said, "It's not long in terms of hours. My normal days are much longer than this, if anything. But you're right, it is long in one respect, that today I'm away from my Ahmadis. I'm away from the masjid, the people I love the most."
He is, how you say in English, the embodiment of love. Yeah? He is love himself. Yeah? So his personality is, reflecting God's love, to his humans. Yeah?
You see that on every single day, that Hazur will be walking and there will be a child standing far in the distance, and Hazur will especially wave at him, show him love and affection. People, a couple of days ago in the inspection, I saw that Hazur was going around the rounds and there were some people who were sick and frail or a bit elderly. Hazur would give them special attention, would speak to them, would ask them how they are. Or if he couldn't reach them physically, from a distance he would just smile in their direction. And you could see that the fears, the worries, the anxieties of those people would drain away and turn into a state of peace and happiness.
He is the Khalifa of the time. And of course he is, representative of Allah in these days on earth. And this you can feel. If you have a spiritual sense, you feel it, that there's a power around him and an atmosphere around him, which you will not find somewhere else.
So whether it's through his words, through his physical contact, through his speeches, even if it's just through his looks, he's healing Ahmadis and guiding them back towards Allah and to peace.
अपनी किस्मत बनाएंगे हम हर कदम अपना आगे बढ़ाएंगे हम हर कदम अपना आगे बढ़ाएंगे हम सैयदी तुझसे वादे निभाएंगे हम हर कदम अपना आगे बढ़ाएंगे हम हर कदम अपना आगे